What is going down, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? You just hanging out? What day is it? Is it Monday? I always say that just because I think it's Monday. It's got to be Monday, is it not? Didn't the time go forward yesterday? Something happened. Something crazy happened. Like, I'm pretty sure yesterday was Sunday. The trip with that, the reason why it's weird for me is because my regimen falls into like every single day. Like, I don't have, okay, there's another way of saying it. When you're constantly doing whatever you want, days apply. What's up? Good morning. Days apply to like so many other people. And I don't want to say that like it's an insult or anything like that, man. Like working a 9 to 5, dude, being on your grind, doing that, doing the family, doing all that stuff. So beautiful, man. And then just the difference for me. Good morning. What's up, crazy? Is I work from home and I put all my energy in literally right where I'm at. Like, I'm in my office, even though I'm in one of my offices, even though I'm on the couch right now. I've been working on the iPad and the laptop for the past like 3 hours. So I've been putting in work and also watching Joe Dispenza and really getting deep into the mind. I meditated this morning. Dude, the things I did in meditation today were like next level type stuff. Like, you're the first to hear about it. It was seriously so amazing. And it was less emotion and more connection. Like, I really started to understand, like, to a cellular level, energy and how to manipulate it and how my brain comprehends it. Good morning, Mandy. And Destin, what's up, bro? And just like how to like really internalize like the energy in your body and in your mind, and how to really like kind of manipulate it. What source? 100%. So stepping into that realm of meditation and going into the emptiness, which is the everything of source energy, I was able to basically leave my body. Like, this is visually here. Like when you literally forget that breaking the habit of being yourself is amazing. 100%, dude. South Africa, hell yeah, good morning. And when you're so deep in meditation that you forget that you even have a body, that's called the gap. That's the disconnection. And none of your awareness is going towards like feeling like a physical entity, particle. It's when all of your awareness and all of your consciousness is in the energetic state, or what I'd like to call light form. You separate from your body, and it feels outer worldly, feels effortless and weightless, right? And it's so magical because I'm literally like all morning after this meditation, I've been listening to Dispenza, and he's describing what my pituitary gland was doing and the oxytocin that was releasing in my brain. And all of these very specific neurochemical experiences that my brain is literally facilitating, and how my consciousness is interpreting that information. So it explains full body waves of pleasure. It explains deep senses of gratitude and peace and oneness and connection and openness. All these things that we look for in other people and other circumstances. Your brain has the capability of doing that at any single moment. And so this is why meditation has been the single most powerful thing I've ever done for myself. This is why doctors look at me and they go like, we can't believe you've healed so well. You've recovered so far since alcoholism and death and all that stuff. But to look at that and be able to jump into that light form, or the light body, which is what they call it too, and understand how my mind physically manipulates energy and how I interpret it. Like if I was human with the superhuman capability of expressing what my light body is capable of, it would look like a superhero. You would love to watch that movie. As a matter of fact, the way I interpret energy is inspired by a lot of movies, a lot of kung fu type stuff and the art of flow and all that stuff. So to describe it is it's pretty difficult. So if, like, for me to speak to someone that goes into deep practice and really truly has a deep sense of connection and understanding of what I'm attempting to describe, it'd be easier for me to say it because I could just you could just kind of match experiences instead of understanding. To try and intellectualize an emotion is a good topic. To intellectualize an emotion is not the same as feeling it. And this is where a lot of us don't give ourselves permission to actually experience the emotion that is for us. We attempt to break it down to its microscopic forms, into its little elements, where we tend to disassociate from the actual density of the pain or of the turmoil or of the happiness or the peace or whatever it is. And we literally just attempt to understand it in its most raw form. And that's our analytical and practical minds. What is my Myers-Briggs? I don't even know. And we try and break it down analytically. Right? Good morning, Dominic. And the analytical mind has a massive struggle when it's trying to depict a creative experience. Because humans in general, we're left brain, we're right brain, just depending. Like, this is why certain programs work for certain kinds of people. Like the Beyond Sober program, Unlabeled program, it removes all of those limiting barriers, like alcoholic, like sober, like all of those things. And it gives you an opportunity to express yourself creatively and authentically, where other options, other programs, or other people want you to follow a guidebook in a set of rules that makes sense, right? So if you're an analytical person struggling with mental health, then following a set regimen and structure is very, very important. And it may be even more difficult to create one on your own. What's up, señorita? To create one on your own, because you're analytically trying to apply this practicality in your own life, when we really need to get more expressive, more creative, more open, more curious, more vibrant, to allow these thoughts and feelings and concepts to kind of like embrace us. And once that happens, with time, then we start to understand that analytically and practically, we've been trying to intellectualize abstract concepts, which pulls us further away from what those concepts actually are. Hey, what's up, Dakota? So stoked to see you. And the further away from these truths or possibilities, right, or the concepts, the further away we go from the feeling, the more static we become. And so what that means is we get stuck in our thoughts. We get stuck in the patterns. We get stuck in familiarity. And if we're not practicing being open to new ideas, which is what we're all doing here, then we just stick to whatever has made sense, even if it's not working for us. I'm off to work. Have a great day, Karma. Dude, kill it. Have an amazing day. I'm at work right now. And that's the trip, is when we try and break things down analytically, we tend to take it too far. And we try and part of us wants to intellectualize other people's behaviors as well. And for the sake of giving them out, right? Helping us with their cause. We want to connect with them. And more importantly, we want them to connect with us. And we want to understand their thoughts and their feelings and their actions. But unfortunately, they're just so programmed or so specific or so analytical. Their level of practicality just disconnects them. And because of that disconnection, they become less possible, right? Those types of people, there's nothing wrong with this because it works. It's half and half. But those types of people, they tend to focus more on probability, right? Yes, 2 lives in a row. Probability. What is it? Look at this. Is it possible that you know everything and you just don't know what you know? 100%. There's no way you cannot prove that until you actually start finding reasons, until you start proving yourself wrong. There's a 100% possibility that you know absolutely every single thing in the entire world, in the history of man, before, after, and everything. You just don't know what you don't know. So in order to step into that, you won't actually know until you start trying to figure out what you don't know. And then you have an epiphany and you're like, oh shit, I actually did know that. I didn't learn anything new. I just realized that I knew it. Oh, well, now my probability is getting higher. There's this higher chance of probability, which is leaning towards truth, that I actually do know everything, but that I'm just solely focused on these specific areas because it keeps me safe and keeps me functional. I love the vibes. 8 days sober. Question. How long until you get your cognitive self back? That's a really great question. It depends on what you're doing with your energy. Okay. So speaking of energy, which is what this whole conversation is about right now, is time is sobriety, energy is recovery. So you could spend weeks, months, days, years and do nothing in recovery. So you could be 10 years sober, but 0 years recovered. So if you stop poisoning yourself, which is what sobriety is, then your brain and body are going to attempt to balance and crystallize a structure that is considered neutral. Kind of like if I had no bullshit in my body, how well will I function? Because alcohol is a poison and it's a traumatic experience, it releases different chemicals and toxins into the body, tries to cleanse itself, tries to fix itself, all with the poison in there, so we get out of whack. That's called brain fog. So as your brain is starting to balance the chemicals, balance the dopamine and the serotonin and the oxytocin and the endorphins and do all that stuff, you're going to slowly reach a state of equilibrium, will help you function, which is considered like zero state. But the thing with that is it just depends on how healthy you are, and it also depends on what you're doing. So if you're just sitting on the couch and you're waiting to feel better, you are going to wait so long, and it may never even show up because you're not giving any attention to how you feel, you're not focusing on how you think, you're not giving any attention to the foods going in your body, you're just sipping on water, you're not drinking it, you're not resting, you're not practicing going to sleep, you're not trying to think new thoughts, feel new feelings, or do new things. Your body's just going to go, this is what we do. We used to drink and poison ourselves, but now we just sit here. So in order for my body to make sense in this space, I need to create a new set of chemicals that make this feel normal. So that's the whole point, is that if sitting on the couch means all 500 chemicals mixed like this, a cocktail that floods your system, means I'm comfortable sitting on the couch, then that becomes your normal state. And that becomes your new cognitive. I can function extremely well while sitting on the couch because this is my new normal. But if you go and you actually practice the art of recovery, which is not healing things, but putting new things in motion that move you towards a cognitive person, then you're actively recovering into a state that can handle cognition. So what that means is you're treating your body right, you're speeding up the cognition process. That's good food, right? Supplements or nutrients or whatever, vitamins, minerals, all that jazz. You're drinking a ton of water, you're lubricating your brain. Your brain's not going to swell as much. It's going to have all the we're going to say wetness. It's water. It's what is that? What is that, Zoolander? The essence of wetness. It's going to have all the wetness. All of your organs are going to be lubricated. Your system's going to function better. Pauly Shore, that's number one. But then if you're getting rest and sleep is where the healing happens. You consciously don't have to go and heal the things that are wrong with your body. You have to give your body permission to heal itself because that's what humans do. That's what scars are. That's your body generating all the perfect conditions for something to heal. That means physically and mentally, psychologically, spiritually, all that stuff. That's what happens when we're sleeping. So recovery, eating good food, thinking good thoughts. If thoughts can make you sick, then thoughts can heal you. If thoughts can keep you miserable, then thoughts can bring you pleasure, right? Same exact shit. It goes both ways. So what are you practicing? And then what else? And then taking action, like actually giving your body permission to move. It's designed to move. Like what your body can do and what it wants to do, they're very rarely aligned. So what your body physically can do, you could do gymnastics, you could become an acrobat, you can break dance, you could do all of these things. But the difference is we're using our level of experience and understanding and present moment feeling to determine whether or not we want to become an acrobat. So if you do nothing with your body, then it's once again going to create the chemical state of cognition based on what you're doing. So if you start acting like an acrobat, you start acting like someone that enjoys good food, good sleep, acting like someone that drinks because they care about tomorrow, which is water or less alcohol, then your body's going to adapt in a cognitive space to facilitate the new you, because you can't be the same person and expect new results. That's the definition of insanity. New neurological pathways being formed by trading with 100%. And so that's the trip is, if every single day, like today I even change things up. Like I try and change things up. Like as soon as I start to realize I'm getting a little too complacent, then I start to switch things. So I now have my computer over here instead of over there. And I'm now looking at the other room going, what could I turn this room into? There's just toys and stuff in it. There's no kids around. What can I turn that into? How can I utilize that space? How can I challenge my mind? Because I actually enjoy shifting my knowledge and my feeling and perspectives and understandings simply by shifting where I'm operating from. Another example is I made a burrito this morning, super high density, lots of protein, carbs. It's like bell peppers and onions. We had some like cilantro and some parsley with black beans and a few eggs, garlic salt, some salsa, guacamole, sour cream. Made that shit happen. Now my body's satisfied. The difference though is I made that. Day 20 is I decided to go outside and eat it instead of typically sit over here and watch some like cognitive information. So I decided to just change it up a little bit, because change and shifting and expansion is a part of what I really enjoy, not just being comfortable. Because if I do that too long, then my brain starts to enjoy not being challenged, and then it becomes challenging to do new things. We have to look at ourselves and go like, what do I want to practice? Because whatever I'm practicing right now, I'm going to become. We had to practice being someone that didn't like water. We had to practice being someone that really enjoys alcohol. We have to practice enjoying being an alcoholic before we become one. We have to practice being a healthy person before we're healthy. It's not just like I stop poisoning myself and I occasionally make a good decision. It's no, you are moving forward into somebody that doesn't have a problem with poison. That's what recovery is. That's what long-term sobriety is about. And more importantly, this is why I always say, sobriety doesn't guarantee happiness, but happiness guarantees sobriety. So people, they will stop drinking and remain miserable. And this is because they're putting no energy into becoming an actual happy, healthy person. They are just not being an unhealthy, poisonous person. Those two realms don't compensate each other. So what that means is just because you're not hurting yourself doesn't mean you're healing yourself. But when you are healing yourself, you are also not hurting yourself. This is where we shift our perspective, shift our mindset, and have a forward progressive mindset, struggling forward into an active state of recovery. Eventually, you realize that your recovery was literally only practicing the things that would have prevented you from hurting yourself in the past. Does that make sense? So we drink alcohol and we poisoned ourselves to fix these things or to prevent these things, when really to prevent those things is just the things that we have to do now in recovery. So we made it way worse and way harder because of the poison. Thank you so much. And now we just have to do what we were originally supposed to do before we decided to drink. That's what recovery is. Good morning. What's up, Glories? Glory. Is it Glory? Glory Santa Hachahara. I totally butchered that shit. My ADHD is just like Gloria Santana Shahara. It sounds right. It feels right. Love listening to you. I just hope I can get him to listen. Listening is different than hearing, right? To hear somebody, to see somebody is different. Listening, right? So I could listen to you all day long and not hear a single thing you say. I listen to people all the time like, there's nothing that you're saying that's actually stimulating me, nor do I really need to give my attention to that, because it's just the same thing everybody else is saying. So this is why I scroll so easily. You know what? Most guys want shut the fuck up. All women say shut the front door, dude. Like, you just know, right? You're saying shit. But the awkward part about that is I hear the nuance of your message before you even open your stupid face. Like that gullet bullshit. We don't, the less we understand ourselves, the less we understand other people. Like it's very basic. When we start to, but you're sober now, that's amazing. When we start to recognize ourselves and see ourselves and hear ourselves and know ourselves, know thyself, then we start to connect with the people around us. We create this empathetic state of being, state of compassion and gratitude and understanding. We still don't have to like those people, but we also just don't have to hate on them either, right? All haters are just sad, man. You got something I don't, so I'm going to hate on you for it, because in order for me to feel good about myself, I need you to feel bad about you. Horrible shit. People with ADHD have a high risk of alcoholism because it claims the brain making it less busy. That is one of the many reasons why people with ADHD and have what's considered an addictive personality. So if I was to do any type of upper, I was a rave DJ for 16 years, so I've had my uppers. If I do an upper, all of the millions of thoughts race so fast, it feels like they're not even there. So imagine it like this. So it goes, eventually if I go fast enough, it will just look like my hand is like this. So with an upper, with ADHD, you give me a stimulant like Adderall, those thoughts go so fast that I literally can't even tell that they're there. It speeds up the whole system. Another way we say that is those thoughts are gone. And if we don't have any awareness to those thoughts, then it feels like we are very, very calm and that we can give our attention to certain things. If the solution to your racing thoughts is just a shot, that becomes highly attractive. The other part of ADHD, which is, that's where dependency comes from, which is, before I go on to that, which is why we don't drink because we're sad. This is why we don't drink because we're angry. This is why we don't drink because something hurts. We don't drink for those reasons, because that Band-Aid becomes an addiction. I know it hurts. Feel it, boo-boo. Like, you gotta feel it. If you don't feel it, you're constantly evading it. If you're constantly evading it, then how the hell are you going to heal from it? How are you going to prevent it from happening? You're not. All because you're using a Band-Aid to escape the thing that you're not supposed to enjoy. You're not supposed to like it. That's why you feel it. Once you feel it, then you go, oh shit. If you've never stubbed your toe before, then you could only intellectualize what it feels like to kick a wall. So, on that note, if we're training ourselves neurologically to go, just like sitting on a couch, when I feel this, I do this. When I think this, I do that. When I hurt like this, I do this. When I don't like this, I go here. When we program ourselves, we have those neurological codes that fire when we're not drinking, because our natural state of being is to escape the moment that we're in. That's how dependencies occur. The same also goes, it doesn't matter what it is. I'll say it like this. If you and I were hanging out, and every time you came up to me and told me a problem, I had an answer for you. You're like, dude, my boyfriend just like whatever. I was like, it's because he's a fucking piece of shit and he does this, he thinks like this. I'm a dude, I would do that shit. I did that when I was sick. And you continue to stay with him. And then you continue coming up. And every time you come over, you say something that he did, and I explain it to you and intellectualize it, help you understand it, help you tear. You're creating a dependency on access to my knowledge or my perspectives. No. The point is to take that knowledge, apply it yourself, and become your own database to structure things. So from that, hey, what's up, Lisa? So from that same standpoint with alcohol or people or places or things, it doesn't matter, dude. If I feel I'm smarter with this thing, I will never let it go. If I feel that the only way I'm going to ace a test is with this in my hand, I'm never going to put it down. It's creating a dependency, which is like a false equivalent to accuracy. So I say all of that because ADHD does three things. Those that overthink, overprocess, do this. I can overprocess reasons why alcohol is a good idea. I have 1,000 thoughts. That's 1,000 reasons why I want to drink. I could also overprocess and overthink reasons why I'm not good enough to be happy. That's deserving of a drink. So the overprocess, overfeeling, and the heightened sensitivity of someone struggling with ADHD, where it actually runs their life, any addictive behavior that can stall, stunt, or prevent those hypersensitive experiences becomes extremely attractive. Not only that, but those with ADHD struggle with dopamine, right? Did I have teen anger? More like teen depression. we struggle with dopamine. So that means that our natural state of being, just like this, we don't necessarily have as much dopamine as other people, or the way we think tends to suppress our dopamine release, so we're not really satisfied. We feel a little depressed. We feel like we're just this. It's 11:11 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 11:11, 11:11. I love this. And so we go like, I need to feel better, right? Did I ever go through DTs? Yeah, I died from those things. And so we need that dopamine. We need to feel good. So this is where there's this guy, I forget his name, he's like a military dude. And I love that he says this. He says, no free dopamine. No free dopamine. Free dopamine is sugar. Once it hits your lips, oh, boom, your brain. Oh, it's so good. I was addicted to nerds for a long time. And even being here in Nashville, I had to actively stop eating nerds. And it took me weeks to like stop craving them. And that's what, now I've got limes in the fridge. I've got lemon in the fridge. I've got no sugar, Lipton iced tea. So I could just satisfy these dopamine releases without needing sugar, right? So I say that to go, that dopamine release becomes incredibly addictive, because once that dopamine dissipates, it's very hard to get back naturally. Because we have addictive personality, we go like, oh, I'll just have one more piece of candy. I'll just smoke one more cigarette. I'll just have one more beer. I'll just send one more text message. I'll just watch one more video. I'll just do just one more. So it's fine. Just one more. I'll be fine. Just one more. One more sip and I'll be happy. One more sip. That in its all encompassing form. Happy. One more sip. That in its all encompassing form. Heavily produced by those that struggle with dopamine. And I also say this, those with ADHD, they can structure their life with a regimen where their dopamine is secreting at higher levels, or they're at a higher state of complacency and gratitude and appreciation and happier. This is why sobriety doesn't get an appreciation and happier. This is why sobriety doesn't because they have a problem. It's because they know that it literally doesn't do anything for them. They go like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. And then we ask them, why don't you drink? And then now we're on the defense going like, it's a poison. Like, how do you enjoy it? Like, I don't want a hangover. I don't want to feel weird. I don't want to disconnect from myself. I really enjoy being cognitive. I like having fun without this stuff. I don't need anything else. And it's absolutely true. But there's so many people who use alcohol, literally use alcohol, not just drink it, use alcohol that are unhealthy, that get really upset that they struggle to do that. Fuck, I wish I could have just one. I wish I was just happy. I wish alcohol wasn't so attractive. I wish I wasn't in an environment that leads me to think about peace. And the only peace I know how to reach is through alcohol, or through that poison, or through that substance, or with that pill, or near that person, or whatever it is. And it creates this subliminal and sometimes very obvious discrepancy where those that are drinking go like, you need to get on my level for me to respect you. And I used to say that as a sick person, as a raging alcoholic. I used to warn people that if they're going to hang out with me, that they're going to need to keep up, that like there's going to be a problem. I could imagine, I know for a fact that I've pushed people to their limits just by them trying to keep up with me. And part of that was an insecurity going, I'm going to be drinking. And I literally, if you're not willing to jeopardize your own health with this poison, then I can't trust you. And I also don't respect you because I'm a badass. I'm like out here struggling with this thing. This is cool. You're not that cool, dude. Like if you're not, like I'm telling you, like I would love to hang out with you, but I'm only willing to hang out with you if we're on the same level. Unfortunately, when we sober up, you're not that cool anymore to me. I'm not that cool anymore to me. I literally don't even like myself. So I'm just going to drink to ignore the fact that I hate me, and you look better when I'm drunk. Music sounds better. You know what I'm saying? Even the bands used to say that. Hey, the more you drink, the better we sound. Damn, that sucks. I want to like you when I'm not faded. You have an innate ability to dissect life, and I love it. Thank you so much for that. I really, truly appreciate that. And that's why I continue expanding. That's why I do the work that I do. That's why I put so much time and energy into understanding myself, intellectualizing, but also conceptualizing things. One of the compliments that I get fairly often that I really appreciate is you have an interesting ability to be able to simplify complex ideas, and through the use of like analogies and similes and stories and things like that. And that's super duper important, because if we don't understand our own mind, then how are we going to make appropriate decisions for us? I'll be 7 years sober in May if I can make it. What do you mean if you can make it? First off, let's talk about that. Stop talking to you like that. If you make it, you might, what are you talking? Who the fudge is talking to you like that? It's just you. You're the one literally setting a limitation, thinking that you can go 7 years, but on day 7 years, like that's going to be the fucking day that you're like, life might happen. I've made it like literally every single experience, but 7 years is coming up. This subconscious anxiety is probably going to make me drink. I just don't have what it takes. Who are you listening to? It better not be you, because if it is you, quit talking to you like that. That's insane, dude. That is literally creating what's called a limiting belief. There's a level of doubt there, thinking that you can't do it, won't do it, it might not happen. You're creating the anxiety that makes you want to drink, and the date isn't even here yet. And even if you did drink in 7 years, that means you went 7 years and had one drink. And? What the fuck? It's so right. You're not more sober in 7 years than day one. You're not more sober than me. Literally, I'm coming up on 6 years. You're not more sober than me. You know why? Because you can't get more sober than sober. You've been 100% sober for 365 days times 7. You've either said no that many times, which is what you're afraid of losing. That's the unnecessary and unrealistic anxiety we create through sobriety instead of recovery. Listen to what I'm saying. If you're not making those days count, then all you're doing is counting up days you might lose. That is the mindset that's going to help you feel like you lost 7 years of something you didn't gain more of. If you don't understand this perspective, then what happens is you go like, am I making, well, here, is this it? Is this the moment? It's got to be the moment. I knew it was coming. Holy shit, I fucking knew it. You give in, you beat yourself up. Now you feel like you relapse, and then now you struggle to stop drinking. Or that one drink, or one evening, or one moment, or one conversation, or one environment you decided to, give yourself permission to experience is now a whole new trauma experience. Damn it. I could have made it 8 years. There's no fucking difference. There is no difference. And part of this is because there are people that don't have an addiction, don't have a problem, aren't struggling with alcohol, that drink every single day. And you are going to beat yourself up if, and probably won't happen, possibility and probability are not the same, you're going to beat yourself up for having one drink in 7 fucking years? What are you talking about? What are you going to lose? What's going to happen? You can't gain more sober. Like, you just can't. If we don't allow this perspective into our life, we are going to create this self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't want to drink. Drinking gives me anxiety, and I don't want to. It might happen. I just don't want to drink. I really don't want to drink. I'm thinking about alcohol and all this shit. I don't want to fucking drink. You fucking did that shit. There's nothing wrong with drinking fucking alcohol, dude. You're allowed to drink it. It's meant to be drunk. We're just not supposed to abuse ourselves with it. That's why it's called alcohol abuse. No, I'm not encouraging anybody to test their limits. If you've made it 7 years, you definitely don't have a physical addiction anymore. If you did, you'd have been struggling every single day for the past 7 years, dude. You definitely don't have an emotional dependency. Otherwise, you would have been thinking about alcohol every single day for the last 7 years. You definitely don't have cravings on that shit. You've obviously figured it out. You've recovered so fucking far, you can't even use the word sober anymore. If you're not struggling with alcohol, you can't be sober from something you don't consume. So technically, this drink, if it were to occur, would be your first drink as this new fucking person. You're not the same, dude. You can call BS all the fuck you want. Truth is truth, facts is facts. Your feelings don't change a thing. The reality with this information is if you are a completely different person, then you can't be what you used to call yourself to stay in the art of recovery. Remember, if you've done nothing to heal yourself since your last drink, then you're sober. You're active recovering or in an active state of sobriety. The most simplest way of saying this is if every single day since your last drink for the past 7 years has been you actively saying no to alcohol, then you're sober. But if you stopped giving a shit about alcohol 7 years ago, 6.5 years ago, you've been recovered and you haven't been sober. You can't even use that because it doesn't even apply to you. That's like saying, it'd be literally the same as asking someone that's never had alcohol, how long you been sober for? I don't drink. What are you talking about? No, but how long you been sober? Fuck, since birth? No. How long you been sober for? I don't drink, bro. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say to me. We have to allow these perspectives to become either a belief or an extension of our truth. Once we do this, then we go on to 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. We don't live in fear, which is the reason why we drink. Fear is anxiety. Fear isn't real. Fear is in the mind. You were spot on. 6 years and counting here from alcohol. That's amazing. I do everything with good positive intentions and have no expectations, and I'm never let down in life again. There's no better way to live, dude. Having zero expectations. Like, you just do stuff. Like, I don't expect everybody to just, like, grasp all these concepts. I don't expect everybody to be, like, supercharged and super passionate with my energy. I expect nothing. But then when there's responses that go like, dude, your vibes are high. I'm like, oh, shit, thanks, right? I'm in a state of reception and gratitude and respect and honor. Like, it means a lot. 2 weeks sober and recovering. That is amazing. And I love the way you said that. Say it again. 2 weeks sober. So for the last 2 weeks, you've been actively saying no to alcohol, but you're also recovering, which means that while you're saying no, you're also saying yes to other things. Another way of saying that is you're not saying no and you're giving a majority of your attention to saying yes. Recovering is anything that helps you act and become someone better or newer than the version of you that struggles with alcohol. That's it. Recovery is energy. So what that means is for the first 4 days, you are actively saying no. You reached 100% sobriety. And then for the past, 4 days and then 17, 14, by 13 days, something like that. 14, what am I, week? 9 days? Math gives me anxiety. So for the past 9 days, you've been putting actual energy into becoming someone greater than the poison, greater than the toxic version of yourself that was relying on alcohol. That's what recovery is. And I bring a lot of density to this because I received a message recently, yesterday, and homie goes, hey man, I went from drinking 15 beers a day and 3 or 4 shots to having 5 or 6 drinks a night. And I'm wondering how long it's going to take before I stop craving those other, drinks, before I stop wanting to drink more. And it's like, that doesn't happen. You are still poisoning yourself. You're still putting the toxin in your body, which means every single sip is lowering your mental health. Every single sip is another reason to drink. I feel like shit, and I feel like shit. So every sip is lowering your mental health, making you feel worse, which gives you another reason to drink. So you're constantly doing this. So he's still drinking alcohol in the hopes that just drinking less, he's going to rewrite his brain. He's not even in a cognitive. Sammy, what's up, girl? So stoked to see you. You guys want to follow Samantha Dermer in here. She's our lead grief and trauma coach. She is absolutely a phenomenal person, an incredible coach. She's got her own program. She's also got the Grief Atlas. So much magic, man. And there's a lot of people that have been through the Beyond Sober program who have decided to work with her as well. Some people have gone through Beyond Sober and then went dude, my trauma, my mourning, my grief is just outweighing the progress that I could get in Beyond Sober. So they decided to work with Sammy. And then once they move through some of these concepts and ideas and reach a more cognitive state, then they finish the Beyond Sober program and they graduate, and it's absolutely amazing. So if you ever want to stay connected with someone that really, really, really knows their stuff, unfortunately, Sammy is the one that has been through more trauma than anyone I've ever met, dude. more grief, more deaths in the family, death from friends and cousins and all that stuff. So she's been through it. Definitely follow Sammy. She's phenomenal. She's also an ex-alcoholic. She struggled. She recently, she's put in so much work. Like this is the truth with Beyond Sober and recovery and all these things. Sammy's not the only woman that I've had a chance to connect with and work with who have been through the court systems and were granted access back to family and has been through the actual courts, man, and had to struggle with all of those things. Damn, we just lost 100 people at once. That's awesome. Okay, now they're back. What's up, dudes? What a trip. But yeah, Sammy, she's one of the many incredible women who have fought dearly to improve themselves and literally transform so deeply that in front of a judge and in front of a jury and in front of all the system, they're like, you've done the work. We see the difference. You deserve everything that you've been working for. And so she's a leader, man, like dead serious with this. You want to follow Sammy. She's absolutely phenomenal. Feel free to reach out to her too. She's always there. She's there for everybody. On that note, recovery is energy, dude. It is 100% energy. And so going back to homie who was questioning how long it's going to take, here's the thing. And this is, if anybody watches Joe Dispenza or any type of neuro talk, basically what happens and basically what it is, and I'm just describing his circumstances, but it applies to every single one of us, including us right this second. I talked about it earlier, is the body eventually becomes the mind, okay? The body is always, 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 always going to influence the mind if we don't practice thinking. What that means is when you are just sitting here, like what do you think hunger is, okay? You're sitting here and you start to get hungry. It happened to me today. That's why I made a burrito. I'm just sitting here, I'm doing work, and then all of a sudden my body goes, we're hungry. I'm like, oh shit, I'm hungry. My body told me that we needed to eat. I wasn't sitting here consciously going, I wonder when it's going to be a good time for me to eat. I'm in the middle of doing my thing. My machine is operating on its own. I gave it water. I gave it all this stuff. I took my supplements today. I have all this, like, my body has everything that it needs, I think. But then my body goes, nah, bro, we need energy. You're starting to slow down a little bit. We need food. We need nutrients. It influenced my thoughts. Oh shit, I'm hungry. I made the connection. So I got up. I put my computers into a place, all the work I did, saved everything. I was like, all right, I'm going to wash the dish. I'm going to do this. What do I want to do? What do I want to feed you, bro? And the same concept that if our body is sick or poisoned or full of toxins or not doing well or whatever it is going to influence our thoughts because it needs a response. It needs resources. So if you're sick, if your body is full of alcohol and it's starting to flush out of your system, your body is going to go, hey, we need a drink. Hey, we need a bump of cortisol. Hey, we need a bump of dopamine. It's going to think for you. And that's where influences come from. So I want you to really think about this. When you feel better, you probably think better too. Because when your body has everything that it needs and it's no longer struggling to get sleep, it's no longer struggling to have energy, it's no longer struggling to heal itself, it's no longer struggling to get the nutrients, it doesn't have any real influence on you. So the trip with this is recognizing this, is that if we don't treat our body well, it becomes the mind. It thinks for us. Another way of saying that is if I just sit here and I feel really good just sitting here, my body is going to go, we don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to go anywhere. You're good. 14 days sober, hell yeah. You don't have to go to the gym. You're good. We feel good, bro. Your back doesn't hurt anymore. You got your heating pad. You don't have to do anything. And that's the trip. This is where we have to think greater than our emotions. Our emotions are the physical feeling in our body. That's the chemical concoction that our body feels. Damn, I feel good. I feel peaceful. I feel whatever. That's the chemicals running through our body. So my point with this is not taking care of our machine that influences our mind to take more shitty action. So the better care we take care of our bodies, the higher chances we're going to have a healthy thought. A healthy thought does what? Releases positive energy back to our body. As our body feels good, we go, we want more of that. How can I get more of this? Another healthy thought, another healthy feeling. How do I get more of that? Well, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to say a nice thing. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat a bell pepper, right? I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to do some yoga. I'm going to do some stretching. It doesn't matter. Anything, thank you so much for the roses. Anything that influences a positive thought is going to get a positive result, even if you don't see it immediately. That's what a state of being is. That's why happy, healthy people don't need anything to be happy and healthy. Nothing needs to happen to them because they are constantly happening for themselves. Just sitting here, you are disconnected from the bullshit. You're disconnected from those negative thoughts. You're disconnected from the pessimism. I am disconnected from the news right now. I'm disconnected from people yelling outside. I'm disconnected from pains. I feel really, really good. I'm disconnected from my past because I'm right here in the moment. I'm disconnected from the possibilities of the future because I'm right here with you. My body goes, I'm safe. I am full. I am nourished. I have energy. I am satisfied. There's nothing else that I need to do. You're allowed to sit here because I am at rest. Because I'm at rest, my energetic state gives me permission to share everything I know with you. My body directly influences the words that come out of my mouth. Not only that, but the way that I use my hands. The way I blink these stupid polyshore eyeballs. All of that stuff. So this is why if we don't actively start our transformation, shifting day to day, not big changes, tiny little things, one extra sip of water, just one more, then what happens is we remain the exact same chemical concoction of our past. Our past is the version of ourselves that we're attempting to get away from. So if we don't actively start shifting our body, we physically, neurochemically, may be living as the old version of us, but neurologically up here, we're actively struggling to do something new. This is where we practice. This is where we rewrite, recode, reprogram. That's recovery. Recovery is writing new codes so the old codes fall away. The old human stepping into the new being. The being is the person that's here and now. The being is the person that is happy and healthy or practicing happy and healthy things. Just because you meditated doesn't mean you feel great. It could be torture. You may have had that thought you didn't want to think. But if you're practicing drinking water instead of drinking alcohol when that thought comes up, you're recovering. You're programming your mind and body to think about water and to think about something healthy. What's up, Chemical Kelly? Think about something healthy for you instead of, I need to escape the feeling and I need to punish myself for not feeling better. This is what I'm saying. That is such a powerful phrase. I'm tired of punishing myself for not feeling better. 3 a.m. Australia, hell yeah. I'm tired of punishing myself for not feeling better. I hurt me because I don't feel good. We look at these things and go like, I must deserve to feel like shit because I feel like shit. I feel like shit about feeling like shit, so I might as well just like contribute to the state of feeling like shit. I hurt myself for not feeling better. Imagine if that was reversed. I pleasure myself for feeling great. That's what a reward is. Ice cream. Give me the sugar. Give me the water. Give me the conversation. Right? Give me the movie. Like whatever it is. But the opposite of destruction is connection, man. We start to really, really connect with things. Instead of destroying something, we start connecting these things together. We want to start connecting with the greater version of ourselves. But most of us, we don't know what that looks like. So we just go like, well, because I have no idea what the better version of me looks like, smells like, thinks like, tastes like, I'm just going to continue eating shit and hating every second of the life because I'm good at it. That's all it is. The trick is don't pick up the first drink no matter what. That's good. It's true. That is one of those things. And that's derivative of willpower. Willpower is a muscle. It'll give out. This is why we don't want to rely on willpower at all. We want to rely on environment. Environment is so powerful. Like, I don't know if you guys see everybody with like ice bath challenge. Not even challenge, just people are doing it. People are literally, like, Amazon finally just put out like a whole ice bath thing that you could buy, and it's so heavily influenced, dude. Whoever created it, it's just a thing. It's just a rebranding of a tub. You go like the ice bath tub. The point with that is we're influenced by our environment. TikTok is your environment. I'm a part of your environment. Dakota, I'm a part of your environment. We're very specifically, as in we show up and we hang out together on purpose, right? Like this, all 160 of us. If this is, listen to what I'm saying. If all 165 of us, 67 of us were in a room right now, we would all be influencing each other because we are in the same what? Environment. Same environment. All the energies would be impacted. You standing next to me without saying anything, your whole body would start to shift energetically because of the amount of energy I have, right? But then that affects the next person. Then your guards start to drop just a little bit. And because you're not so nervous and you see me doing backflips and all this stuff, you start to get a little bit more excited, even though you still feel miserable, right? Then you see that next person. And then we have this dance circle going on. Breath work, hell yeah. We've got this dance circle coming on, and then you're starting to get just a little bit more confident. And you still have a little bit of social anxiety, but you're starting to realize you're not anxious, you're excited. And then you start to go and do your little moves or whatever it is, whatever you got. And then we all start cheering you on. You're like, oh, shit, yeah, Incubus. We're like, dude, get it, girl, get that shit. And we're all cheering. You're like, oh my God, I have chills thinking about it, right? And you're like, dude, I did not know that I even had those moves in me. I haven't danced since I was a little girl. That is your environment, right? So you surround yourself in an environment that encourages you to express yourself, to step outside the limitations of the environment you accidentally created for yourself. Because you would never intentionally put yourself in an environment where you couldn't flourish. You only do that there to keep yourself safe. So initially, you may have created a thought process, a habit, a pattern. Breathwork and meditation is life-changing, 100%. Changed my life, absolutely. You create an environment that helps keep you safe, that helps you process, that helps you get through things. A safe environment could be lying to yourself. A safe environment, your mind is the greatest environment you're ever going to be influenced by. 100%. By far. Like I could put you in the same room, but if you don't practice thinking the thoughts that I think or the people around you think that are actually happy and healthy, you are literally fighting. You're fighting it. And that's what recovery is challenging yourself. Thank you so much for the roses. Challenging yourself to break out of the environment that has kept you safe for so long. We're always feeling the safest when we're the most comfortable, even if we're in an uncomfortable state, right? So we're sitting here. There's two different ways of looking at this. Hey, thank you so much for the love and the roses. Excuse me. There's this environment and our physical environment. There's also spiritual environment and all that stuff too. We'll just talk about this. You could put me in an unhealthy environment and I will get healthy results. 100%. You could put me in any circumstance, I will figure it out. I might have a little anxiety, but I'm not going to run away from it. There's three things that everybody needs. Everybody needs. Everybody needs. We need the right environment, which is also known as a mindset. We have the right mindset. We need to have some specialized knowledge, skills, data, like what I'm saying now. We need to have a skill, something that we can apply, whether it's a way of thinking, it's a unique perspective, it's a physical attribute, whatever. We need the right mental environment, something that moves us forward, gives us that commitment, curiosity, dedication. We need to know what to apply. We need to have those skills. And the last one is the blueprint. We've got to know what to do with those two other things. I got the right mindset. I got all the tools I need, but I don't know what to do with them. Damn it. So technically you don't have anything. Or I know exactly where I got to put my energy. I have all the tools to do it, but I don't have the right environment. There's nothing encouraging me to move forward. I literally lack the determination or the motivation or the curiosity or whatever it is, right? Or I am super motivated, super ready to get this shit done. And I know exactly where to put my energy. I just got to put it over here, and whatever, but I don't have any of the things that I need to do that. If one of those three things are missing, we feel stuck. We feel stuck. Because you know what you don't want, but you also don't know where to put that energy to obtain what you do want. What you do want, that clarity, is the baseline of your blueprint. You got to know what you're working towards. You're not stuck, you feel stuck. That's a different thing. Energy needs herbs, vitamins, organic foods, absolutely. So you're not stuck, you feel stuck. The problem, I would really want you to take a look at this. For anybody that feels stuck, the only reason you feel stuck is because you're looking at your feet in the quicksand. You're looking back. You're looking at what's not changing. You're not looking forward. There's no direction. Nothing is changing because you continue looking at your feet stuck in the sand. You continue looking backwards and going like, oh, that shit is still there. Obviously, I'm not moving any forward because I can still see them. If you're standing on a road and nothing is getting smaller, you're like, I must be in the same place. But the interesting part about this is when we look back, nothing is different. But when we look around, everything has changed. So if we feel, what's up? Wait. If we feel stuck, it's not because we are stuck. It's because where our attention is going is in that feeling. We're amplifying that feeling by going, I'm stuck. Nothing is working. Everything I do doesn't work out. I keep making mistakes. I keep doing all this shit. This problem keeps popping up, blah, blah, blah. You amplify whatever you give your attention to. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So you're giving all of your energy and attention to proving that you're not moving forward. That's not true. At all. It can't be true. We're literally on a rock floating through space. You're moving, dude. Your cells are dividing and multiplying and doing all kinds of shit. Skin cells are falling off your body. You're writing new neurological codes. You're a different person since starting this conversation with me. You were you plus this conversation. You are different now. You are literally, energetically, neurologically not the same person. In order for us to move out of that, we must practice giving our attention to solutions, to pathways. We don't have to have the answer. We just need to realize where we don't want to be and make decisions based on what is the opposite direction of that, right? So my first thought was relationship. Is your relationship not working? Okay, well, why not? It doesn't necessarily matter why specifically. You don't have to get defensive on that. But the point is the relationship working? No. Is this a relationship that you want to make work? No. What is the opposite of forcing a relationship to work? Allowing the relationship to dissipate. What does that look like? That looks like my own apartment, dude. That looks like focusing on my mental health. That looks like eating better. That looks like taking Crown Rising out to breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like she's got to take herself out. That looks like Crown's got to start loving herself a little bit more. It looks like Crown's got to start getting some actual rest. She's got to get clear. The opposite of this is everything. Any decision that moves you in the opposite direction of where you don't want to be is the right decision. I say that to open up your world so you don't have to come to one answer. There's not one answer. There are infinite millions of combinations of things that will and are actually leading you where you don't want to go. The difference is, so many of us go like, I don't like this. Well, what you don't change, you choose. Unfortunately. You get that? Okay, that's awesome. What we don't change, we choose. You don't like that? Quit eating that shit. You don't like that? Quit talking to that guy. You don't like the way you feel? Quit it. Stop. You're not obligated to do that shit. Nobody's showing up and saying, dude, you better keep doing that shit. We choose it. We choose it. And it's an unfortunate slap in the face because we go like, it's true. We could try and talk ourselves out of it and victimize ourselves all we want. That's just going to keep us feeling stuck. This is where our belief systems are so imperative. I want you to really think about this. If what you believe isn't moving you forward, how important is that belief? If your belief system, everything that you believe to be true and choose to commit to, if it's not moving you forward and you're not exactly where you're supposed to be, are you really supposed to be believing that? Is that the best belief system that you can create? I don't think so. I am choosing to be a caregiver. My self-care is 0. I love that. That's the opposite of caring for other people. You see how that works? I feel stuck because I keep caring for everyone else. Girl, guess what you gotta do? You gotta take yourself on a water slide. You gotta fucking love you, dude. I can't love you better than you can, man. I might be able to show you what it looks like, right? This is what self-love looks like. I'm loving me right now, right? But the trip with this is the opposite of stuck is any decision in the opposite direction. So you look at where you're not going. What I'm doing isn't helping me do one of these 3 things. What I'm giving my attention to doesn't make me happy or isn't contributing to my state of positive being, my positive state of being. What I'm doing isn't contributing to my state of happiness. What I'm doing doesn't help me feel like I'm moving forward. Okay? What I'm doing doesn't make it feel like I have everything that I have, like I have everything I need. If what you're doing doesn't make you happy, what you're doing doesn't make you feel like you're moving in a good direction, and what you're doing doesn't make it feel like you have everything you need, stop fucking doing it. Excuse my language. Stop doing it. You don't like your job? I understand. But we don't have to talk ourselves through a belief system thinking that there's no way I'm going to be able to get another job. There's no way that I'm going to be able to care for myself. I've never done it before. That's just an understanding based on your experience. That thought isn't coming from the future, because future you is going, damn girl, you did it. I'm so proud of you for having that thought, because the first step to quitting is admitting. You got to recognize that you are where you are so you can go where you want. We can't continue staying exactly where we don't want to be and hoping that our complaining is going to be the reason why things change. Acceptance, radical acceptance, accepting things for what they are so we stop punishing ourselves for what they're not. So relating that back to being a caregiver, when you accept the fact that you feel stuck caring for other people, take that back. Not accepting it does this. Not accepting this information means that you intentionally don't care for yourself. So the opposite of what that means, I'm thinking out loud now, I'm trying to get clear with it. Radically accepting the fact that what you're doing isn't helping you, it means you're gonna stop punishing yourself, which is not caring for yourself for what things aren't. That's really hard to say. It's really hard to paint. So to accept things for what they are, you're a caregiver, means that you don't have to punish yourself for what they're not, right? You're not taking care of yourself, so you make your life worse, right? When we radically accept that we're in a situation that is pulling us away from taking care of ourselves, we stop finding reasons why we need to make our lives more miserable or not find another job or not do anything, other things. I'm struggling. Hey, what are your views on people with gastric bypass struggling without calling them? I don't see the rest of that comment. Without calling them. Gastric bypass. Gastric bypass, that's weight, correct? That's intestine, is that the sewing of the stomach? I could be totally wrong, right? Oh, struggling with them being alcoholics. What would I say to somebody like that? The truth is, if we could be practicing alcoholic behavior without actually being an alcoholic, but we do have to practice drinking the way an alcoholic would in order to develop a physical or emotional dependency on alcohol. Without the addiction, you're just drinking the way an alcoholic would. Those with gastric bypass, those that are on their recovery journey, physically, mentally, transfer addiction kills too, 100%. The trip with this is that drinking the pain away isn't helping your body heal. Alcohol is physically traumatizing our bodies. So another way of saying this is if I went through gastric bypass surgery, if I had a liver transplant, let's just pretend I never had alcohol before. This version of me has never tasted it. Let go of hope. I'll tell you that in a second. ADHD, forgiveness is letting go of all hope for a better past. Okay? So if I have never had alcohol before, and I had to get a new liver for liver disease or whatever, they got a new one, I would not drink alcohol through that circumstance, because alcohol is a literal poison and is the opposite of the reason why I got a liver transplant or why I needed a new organ. Alcohol causes cancer. Alcohol is not a healing property. There's nothing nutritional about a literal carcinogen and a disinfectant. So if somebody's struggling, if I met somebody that goes like, and I do meet people in similar situations, they go like, I went through surgery, I did this, that, and the other. I'd be like, dude, you're not helping your body heal by poisoning it and taking the energy away from the healing process. Your body is attempting to, we're going to say, dissipate all of the toxin. That's what your liver is for. Your liver filters toxins. We eat bad shit all the time. Even the air. We're constantly consuming shit. And our liver is there as the filter of our body, which means that's energy. So if a majority of the energy that your body has is going towards breaking down toxins that were never intended to be there to start with, then that is additional energy that is not going towards healing your body. Your body needs to heal. It needs those resources. It needs all the nutrients and all of the signals and all of that stuff is not going to where you had surgery, but is simply taken up by your liver. Even your thoughts alone are taking up 10% of your physical energy. So another way of saying that is people that practice positive thoughts and positive energy in the recovery process recover faster. And this is because if your thoughts can keep you sick, then your thoughts will help you heal. Absolute neurological, scientific facts. That's what positive energy is. Positive energy isn't generated by negativity. Positive energy is generated by the practice of positively charging your thoughts. As it moves through your body, you create the healing properties and secrete, what's up, Kron? And secrete all of the necessary resources for your body to heal quicker. Meditation does the same thing, right? So if somebody is struggling physically with a surgery or something like that, every single sip of alcohol is literally making things worse because we're creating more physical trauma in our body on a microscopic level. And your body's way of absorb the alcohol is different. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. 100%. That's the other thing. Thank you for reminding me of that. It's very rare that I get to talk about the subject. It doesn't come up often. There are a lot of people because their stomach is smaller after gastric. Thank you. That's initially where I was going to go. So if you go through gastric and your stomach is smaller, you still have the same tolerance. You still have the same. So think about this. This is how it works. Let's just say you take 10 shots a day. That's your average. A bottle of liquor. You drink a bottle of liquor a day and you struggle with that. You've gained weight and your physical health, mental health has gotten worse. Then you go through gastric bypass surgery. That is an incredibly stressful circumstance. And the immediate thought on that, regardless, is going to be escape the pain, escape the misery, escape all of that stuff with alcohol. If that person has not practiced consuming less alcohol before that surgery, their tolerance is exactly the same and they have a smaller stomach now, which means they're going to get drunk faster with the same neurological condition that makes them want even more. So they may actually get drunk off 2, but physically find themselves taking those same 10 shots, which means they are overdosing on alcohol that much faster. Every time they do that, they're strengthening the neurological connection and amplifying alcoholism. They're putting themselves up higher on the spectrum. There's so many attributes of this that really need to be taken into consideration. This is why, once again, if we're developing a healthier relationship with alcohol, then we want to practice drinking less first before we entirely quit. Why do I feel depressed after not drinking alcohol for a month and a half? Well, first off, that's life. You're supposed to get depressed. Not like that. That sounds fucked up. You're supposed to have a dip. You got to remember this, though. Alcohol, people that drink alcohol casually, or alcohol is a part of their diet, they have higher levels of cortisol that are in their system no matter what. So if you're just taking a break from alcohol, you're still a casual drinker. Your cortisol levels remain a little bit higher, which is your stress hormone. So you may have higher depression, higher anxiety. Most commonly is the only thing we did was stop poisoning ourselves. So we're not doing anything to improve our physical or mental health. So if you're not going for walks, if you're not getting enough oxygen, if you're not eating the right foods, if you're still going to Taco Bell and KFC and all this shit, if you're eating absolute crap and you're not putting any new nutrients in your body, you're malnourished, you're not getting the rest that you need, you're not setting a bedtime, you're not going to sleep, you're not really, really healing, then you are just as sick as you were while drinking. You're just not drinking. So that's part of the recovery. So if we're doing nothing to improve our physical or mental health since our last drink, then we could expect to crash and not crash minus our coping mechanism. That coping mechanism is just disconnecting us from how bad we normally feel. So it's not guaranteed that you're going to have a depressive episode or within 2 months or a month that you're going to be depressed. But you have to look at your machine and your lifestyle as a whole. Healthy isn't just a series of occasional healthy decisions. Healthy is a lifestyle. I'm a healthy person. I think healthy thoughts intentionally. I say healthy things intentionally. I do healthy things intentionally. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. When you do that, you become a healthy person. But you got to practice being healthy first. Since I quit drinking, I have no desire to get out. Hang on, where did that go? I have a desire to get out and meet people. It's been 2 months. People aren't always that awesome. You're not supposed to like, a lot of people when they stop drinking, they get incredibly introverted. That includes myself. I've literally been in a room by myself, just chilling. Even this apartment, it's just me. Nobody around. I love not having to be social. I go to the gym every day and I might hit the grocery store, but I'm not going to parties. I'm not going to events. I'm not going to festivals. I'm not out trying to be social. It's not a necessity for me because I'm my own best friend. So I'm really good at keeping myself company. So I don't really need too much interaction, but the interaction I do get is very impactful. So I interact with intent. You and your program is amazing. Dude, Lisa Cross, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you. I've been working on Unlabeled all morning. I think later today I will have the actual Sober Not Sober website launched. So the link in my bio will go to Sober Not Sober, and it will have a link for Beyond Sober program, Sober Not Sober. I'm sorry, Unlabeled Sobriety, which is coming out in the next month or so. You'll have access to all of the articles, the wiki, the clothing, the single shot method, the podcast, and the TV show, plus a way to get a hold of me and a couple other additional resources. So you guys, it's a one-stop shop. So it's all things sobriety. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. Lots and lots and lots of work. I started practicing drinking less and I'm on day 2 sober now. You've made everything easier, man. Dude, that's badass. I love that. Practice drinking less. Like, so it could be 1 sip less, 1 drink less, 1 glass less, whatever. Single shot method is exactly that. It's averaging out how much you drink a day. So you may drink 10 a day. You're going to start practicing drinking 9 now. Like, you're intentionally going to drink 9. You're going to get good at drinking 9. Then you're going to intentionally drink 8 for a few days or a week or however long it takes before that becomes normal. Then 7. As you practice consuming less, you're reprogramming your body to expect different things. And another way, even today, it was difficult for me in meditation because my leg fell asleep and I had to move my leg into a position I don't normally meditate in. And I had to work through that uncomfortable space because my body wanted to go back to that Indian style. But then once I worked through that uncomfortable state, I forgot that I wasn't Indian style. I was able to get right back into meditation. So as you practice challenging what's comfortable for you, you find yourself in this space of going, oh, it's not so bad. I'm so stoked, dude, that it's easier for you. You helped a lot. Told my therapist about you. Oh, I hear that often. Hang on, I got to read that. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Told my therapist about you. Sorry if that's weird. No, most people leave their therapist and they come hang out with me. Like, this sounds messed up, but it is. I work with therapists. I work with psychiatrists. I even build entire master platforms for therapists. And a lot of therapists send their people over to me. I don't want to say people like a number, but those that are struggling with mental health and sobriety, they send them to me. And the reason why is because your therapist has never been an addict. Your therapist has never been an alcoholic. Your therapist has put zero energy into what the stuff that I talk about. They understand concepts and they are incredibly skilled. They're therapists for a reason. Like that's what they are the best. But if you're not the right person for them, then it doesn't matter what they know. It just doesn't work. And the same for me. If I'm not the right person for you, then it doesn't matter what I talk about. It doesn't matter what I create, what service, what opportunity, what product. It doesn't matter. So this is why we want to do our research, do our due diligence, try different locations first. If anybody has a therapist and they're starting to realize that they're wasting money, not getting the value, not getting the support, the therapist is just going, you should try AA. Or more importantly, and this is the biggest one, when going to therapy is triggering you into wanting to drink. And the main reason why people go to therapy before starting a sobriety program is because they think if they could heal their trauma, if they could fix their thoughts, if they could fix their story, that they won't want alcohol anymore. That is so insanely untrue. It is so untrue. Just if you haven't practiced understanding your own mind and thoughts and started practicing retelling your story from a healthy perspective, then every time you think about that story is going to be another reason to drink. It's incredibly triggering. So a lot of people in other programs just find themselves drinking in the parking lots, doing all this shit, because being reminded physically, your body thinking that it's in the past when your mind's trying to be right here in the present, that's a triggering response. And so the auto response to that is to immediately think about alcohol. So a lot of times therapy is triggering, which is why when I meet with people, which is every single day, we don't talk about the problems. We don't talk about the trauma. We don't talk about why they drink. We don't talk about any of that stuff because it is not important. Best tricks to stay sober is to focus on drink like you care about tomorrow. I'm powerful over my addiction. 100%. You can't be addicted to something you don't consume. You gotta really remember that. Like, how can you have an addiction to something that you don't do? I don't even think about it. Like, I can't, it's not even a thing. Even if physically you were predisposed to not being able to stop or feeling like you can't stop if you were to consume it, you don't consume it. So to even say that you have an addiction is insane because you can't prove that you don't unless you do the thing. There's no way even if I do have an addiction, there will never be a circumstance where I have to prove that I'm addicted. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't drink. I don't do that. I don't put myself in positions to activate my addiction. So it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter how other people feel. I'm not an addict. What are you talking about? But that's one of those things. That's why the unlabeled program is so powerful, is it can remove the labels that are our limitations and allow you to just be a human. I love the way you laugh. I'm powerful of my life. You are the life that is powerful. Holy Spirit, activate. You're very refreshing. I'm sure you hear that a lot too, but damn, you seem genuine and just real. I am very genuine and incredibly real. No titles. Exactly. Everything that I talk about is just wisdom that I've practiced over drinking alcohol for 24 years, plus another 6 years of recovery and expansion. The TV show, the podcast, almost 3,800 videos here on TikTok, the YouTube channels, like all that stuff, hundreds of articles that I've written, 2 sobriety programs, all that stuff. And I just want people to take care of themselves. You're a coach. I am a professional sobriety master coach and one of the best that you could find. That's not an opinion. That's why we love Kohdi. I appreciate you. If there's someone that wants to work with me or is interested in working with me one-on-one, those are the meetings that I have. I have one here in just a few minutes, with a cat that I got a chance to meet or connect with a couple weeks ago. You can apply to work with me, dude. I don't offer my time to everybody. I do, depending on how our conversation goes, meaning that I feel I can get you results and I really enjoy who you are and I can see exactly what we got to do. And you enjoy how we communicate and you feel confident and safe in that conversation. If those two things work well, then I'll offer either a month-to-month thing or you can prepay for 4 months, and I even offer 9 months. It's cheaper than therapy and more effective than AA, rehab, and detox. There's nothing better than that. But that's I meet with people every day who think they need a coach and they just need the program. So you got to remember that a majority of what I'm going to say one-on-one is exactly what I've pre-recorded in the sobriety program. So my mission for anybody that jumps on my calendar and wants a coach is to make sure that you are 100% serious that the program, which is what we're going to do one-on-one, is not going to work for you, and that you don't want to save the money. Like I'm going to try and make you go like, I talk about that in module 1, module 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's in module 6. That's in video, whatever. What we're talking about is already in the program. You don't need me for this. If you're sure that you want to skip the program and save money and work with me, I'll offer that to you. But we're just going to be working through the program together. If that's what you want, then I'll offer that. I'm 200% serious. Okay. If you're serious and you want to work with me and you're even remotely interested in that, and you think hanging out with me just like this a couple times a week with recordings and summaries and what else? Transcriptions and accountability and accessing my cell phone number, my email, all of that stuff. If you would like to have me on your team as an actual resource, then you just simply got to apply. You just got to jump on my calendar, which means hit the link in my bio, and in the menu bar, you'll see apply. Or you can go to beyondsober.org/apply. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions just to kind of gauge where you're at. And then pick a time on my calendar. I've got someone on my calendar right now. They just jumped on a few minutes ago. There we go. And they are on the calendar for, what is the date? Oh, I don't even see it. But they just filled out an application. So that's what I'm doing a majority of my day, is when I'm not here on TikTok, I'm working on sobriety stuff and then working one-on-one with amazing people. Sober Jesus. Yep. Sober Jesus. 2000% serious. Dark matter. All right. Well, check it out. I'm going to start getting ready for this meeting here in the next few minutes. Thankfully I already ate breakfast and got my lunch all ready to go. So just looking real quick on what's going to be on the Sober Not Sober website. This is for everybody. You guys could also leave me messages. I got to record the video for you guys so you know exactly how to use it. You'll have access to Beyond Sober, single shot method, unlabeled sobriety program, Thrive Nutrition for anybody that wants to get into the same nutritional supplements that we all use in sobriety for our physical health. You'll have access to the recovery guide. So you don't even need to join the program. You don't have to work with me personally. You can just follow the guide, do it on your own. You will have access to all of the sobriety gear with discounts. So if you want a Sober Not Sober shirt or Beyond Sober hat or stickers or whatever, drink water gear, that'll be there. You also have access to sobriety coaching where you can apply to work with me. You will also have access to the sobriety podcast, which is the audio extracted from here, put onto a podcast. So you can drive around and listen to me. Then you will also have access to the TikTok, Beyond Sober TV, which is replays of everything that you see and hear here. Plus all of my other TikToks and any other custom content that I decide to create. And then after that, you will have the ability to connect with me personally, send me a message, and I get back to you and all that stuff. That will be up probably later today, maybe tomorrow. And that will be on the Sober Not Sober website. That link that I just described will be the link in my bio. So instead of sending you straight to Beyond Sober, I'd rather send you to a series of options for you to take advantage of. On that note, I want to give everybody that decides to join Beyond Sober right now gets a free upgrade into the unlabeled sobriety program. Like that one's that's next level shit. Unlabeled sobriety is being created after helping hundreds of thousands of people improve their life, after helping thousands and thousands of people in the program, after working with hundreds of people one-on-one, and after the articles and after the videos and after the success. Beyond Sober was created out of necessity. This is created out of like universal like expansiveness. This is next level stuff. Next label stuff. Oh my goodness. This is next label stuff. Oh, I love that. So I'll tell you this, man. Anybody that decides to jump into Beyond Sober automatically gets access to the unlabeled program once it opens up, and it'll be in the next month or two. So you'll have absolutely everything that you need. And then some. And also, if you guys have any questions, that link in my bio, there's a little message box right there. How do I get those affirmations? Those affirmations I actually have them recorded. I didn't record them. I ran them through Amazon's Poly. I have a male version, so you could just listen to it. I have a female version, so you could just listen to it. Then I have them all written out. You could download them, or you could just open them in your browser. Those are inside unlabeled, but I will be giving those away for free. So that will also be a resource on the Sober Not Sober website. So as soon as that's up in the next day, I'll make sure that you know, and that you can either download the MP3 or you have access to the audio file online. So you can listen, you can repeat, you can save, all that fun stuff. So I'm making it super duper 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 easy for everybody to take care of themselves. I want to see you win, man. I want to see you happy. I want to feel you happy, man. So don't trip. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for asking. If there's something you'd like for me to create, if there's a topic you'd like for me to bring up, if there's a resource you'd like for me to design, feel free to let me know. You could even just send me a message or whatever. And I'll get working on that. What I create is based out of what people say. So if there's a resource or something that you feel either yourself or a collective community could benefit from, all ideas are good ideas. I could always make some magic happen in one way or another. With that said, I love you. Feel free to hit that link in my bio and stay connected, grab some gear, or just say hello. On that note, I think I just said that my ADHD is kicking in. See, I'm starting to die. I'm starting to get a little sleepy. I love you guys. Thank you. I sincerely appreciate you. And I'll be releasing some content soon. I will see ya. And just like my mother always says, just take care of you. Just take care of you. Yeah. Just take care of you. Just like do nothing else and take care of you, and maybe take care of you and take care of you. And see, look, it won't even let me leave.